Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another commentary video on my favorite reformists. And today we're gonna look at a video that is one of the worst things in terms of understanding history and material conditions that I've ever seen. It's actually a really good look at how social democrats think, because even though these guys don't say it, they're sock dems. And they're pretty run-of-the-mill sock dems in a certain sense. And you'll see that. I think, yeah, let's play the whole thing. Why not?
If you are terrified at polling that shows that capitalism is now like at a 15-year low in terms of what people think about it, if you are terrified at the incredibly broad-based enthusiasm for Zoran Mamdani and his democratic socialism.
Now, what I want to say is people are not enthusiastic about Mamdani's democratic socialism because, first of all, democratic socialism, as the words are used right now in the US, isn't a thing. And second, his platform has nothing to do with socialism. His platform is some mild social democrat reforms that would be good, no question there, and some state-owned supermarkets, or I guess city-owned. So, yeah, I mean, I just want to question the framing here, but I think people are excited about somebody talking about the material problems they're having and actually proposing some sort of productive solution instead of just deregulate and hope the market does whatever it does, because people are tired of that. And now let's watch on.
How do you push back at it if you are terrified at the incredibly broad-based enthusiasm for Zoran Mamdani and his democratic socialism? How do you push back on this? How do you stop this rising tide of socialism that you see? Well, Jesse,
you give people symbolic concessions before using the state apparatus to basically kill any chance of a socialist revolution. And by kill, I pretty much literally mean killing communists, killing socialists, killing trade unionists. This is part of the same timeline. You saw it in Germany, where after a revolution which was betrayed in 1919 by the Social Democrats, you had some period of social democracy and trying that way. And then the next economic crisis hit and you got fascism, because people were really organized and the capitalists were pretty scared of that. And they said, okay, let's just, play all the cards we have. We will lose, the state will lose all legitimacy, but it won't matter because we have this terror apparatus and people will either be indoctrinated or too scared to say anything. So, I mean, this is stuff you can read about, like, I've recommended this before, but Earl Browder, The Meaning of Social Fascism. Great read. You can listen to it here on YouTube. Socialism for All does a reading of it. So that question is answerable. It's not a setup.
Waters has an interesting idea on how to fight socialism. You might say fighting fire with fire.
A lot of fluff.
He's Sam Cedar is pretending as if this is like stupid, but it's actually the way that social democracy helped fascism come about, because they stalled the revolution, the revolutionary mass movement, and gave the capitalists a chance to sort of set up the whole fascism thing ideologically via the petty bourgeoisie. Yeah, so it's not as like it's it's a tactic that's not only been tried but has worked many times.
And very little beneath.
And Bernie kind of alluded to it. He's like, he wears a nice suit.
And I don't know why they're playing it slow, but that's just whatever.
He's got a nice smile, and that can fool a lot of people. Trust me, I know, Kaylee. But they're on to something with the prices and all that. I mean, prices are still high. Can't Trump just bring in some corporate executives and just say, hey, guys, there's going to be a socialist revolution in this country if you guys don't do something. Please do something. I mean, you could do this with the heads of these universities. I mean, these tuition rates are out of control. Why doesn't he just say, guys, we're going to investigate you guys for monopoly, price collusion. Get this tuition down. Get this stuff down.
Yeah, he's working on it.
Look, the reason why Trump won't do that is because that's not, Trump's ideology. But of course, fascism and Bonapartism are part of the same sort of lineage of capitalist degeneration as a result of prolonged, consistent crises and returning crises and financial stabilizing mechanisms that also become another point of crisis and so on. But there's really no reason why he couldn't do that. And maybe he might do that. I don't think so. I personally think we'll have 2028, I think JV Pritzker and AOC, it's like a SOCDEM run, and they will win, and they'll do basically nothing. And then in 2028, we'll get like Tucker Carlson's Fourth Reich in America. But that's just my personal prediction. And, it's a little bit polemical, but I am talking about something real. Okay, anyways, let's see what majority report has to say.
A second. I just want to go over this. So, how do we deal with this this political program of attempting to make things more affordable? Why have a process? Just have Trump tell everybody make things more affordable.
Look, you called it democratic socialism. If democratic socialism is any kind of socialism at all, making things more affordable is not the right description at all. Because the point of socialism is to recognize that a small number of capitalists preside over production, which is societal production because we all maintain it by our labor. So the point is to wrest that control away from the ruling class, not just to make things more affordable. Is it nitpicking? No, it's not nitpicking, because that's exactly how interacting as communists with the bourgeois state works. You try to get concessions. You won't change bourgeois politics. That's not possible. You can't, that's why Democratic Party entryism is a fundamentally flawed strategy. You need rank and file worker power. You need party organization. You need just education of people. You need sort of linking spontaneous worker organization to party organization, and so on and so on. You can't do it via the media. You can't do it via electoralism. It's not possible. There's no way. And history has borne this out. And there have been a billion communist analyses on this, but it's new to Americans, I guess. So what I want to say is that, yes, they will give you concessions because they get to keep the system. And once you forget about the concessions, they can take it away from you because guess what? They're still in charge of the ideology, of the media, of everything. And if they want to change the laws, they can change the laws in a heartbeat. They're in charge of the laws. It's once you understand that the state has a class character and that the monarchies had a feudal character, like the European monarchies, like in France, and that likewise our country governments have a bourgeois character. Once you understand that, it really, it kind of clicks into place. So I'd urge you to like Google, like, why does the state have a class character? Okay. Anyways, let's continue.
The
It's
CEO's
sort of
you
like-
should have just asked.
It's really more like literally saying this socialism is a danger. What we need is authoritarian communism.
Oh, brother. Oh, fucking hell, Sam Cedar. You're an asshole. Why do you are repeating the fucking authoritarian communism trope. You're doing this stupid bullshit. You're painting communism as like, oh, those are the freaks on the extremes in the socialists, democratic socialists. Stop it. Stop. Like, Karl Marx was a communist, and the term changes, but please don't endorse these tropes. For the love of God, that's so stupid. As a left-wing commentator, it's really counterproductive and stupid. But anyways, what I wanted to say is, did Jesse Waters say anything about wanting to move into communism? Is it just implied because Jesse Waters is a fan of Donald Trump's authoritarianism, and he's saying, what if we kind of chill the people out a bit by giving them some concessions, which is a completely normal thing for the bourgeoisie to do under pressure. That is what happens. And what we want to happen, right? That's why we're organizing, right? We don't just want blue team to win, right? Okay. Well, look. Authoritarian communism doesn't mean anything. It has nothing to do with communism. If you think that that like Jesse Waters is a fucking Stalinist, you're a moron. And I don't even know what to say about this. It's so preposterously stupid and frankly anti-communist that I lost a bit of respect when I saw this, and I immediately started making this video. So the rest of this I haven't even heard. Let's continue on.
Address it.
As long as it's from executives.
Right. As long as the state has the ability to dictate what prices are, we won't have to worry about this socialism.
Yeah. I have a feeling that's not going to work, Jesse Waters. I have a feeling that they're going to find a way around it. That's why you need things like legislation and taxation to actually make this stuff happen.
Here's Kaylee, though.
No, you don't. No, you actually don't. The reason you do the legislation and taxation stuff is to basically to lock it in, to buy time. But actually, no, you don't. If concessions are given, that's a battle won, and it has also happened. Like certain factory owners in the early days of what we now call communist organizing, they would just pay the people well, and then those people would be depoliticized, right? I mean, it happens all the time. It's really, I don't know. This is making me kind of sad.
saying like, don't worry. There's no reason to panic about the affordability crisis. Why? Because Scott Besant said so.
Illusion. Get this tuition down. Get this stuff down.
Yeah, he's working on it. Look, Scott Bessent is the best of the best alongside Donald Trump. Scott Bessent said, I'm predicting Q4, you're going to see an accelerant on this economy. And already, if you look at it, 3.3.
That's just nonsense. Where are they getting these numbers from? Jesus fucking Christ.
3% GDP growth, hundreds of billions of dollars of investment pouring into the United States. Donald Trump's cut taxes, deregulating. He has poured a fire on this economy. We're having to dig out from 4 years.
A fire? He's burning it down?
Of Biden-era fecklessness, but we're getting there.
Listen,
And
I am not a scientist, but when you pour a fire onto something, it burns. It burns. And you don't want the economy to burn.
It reminds me of the Weimar. They were like burning money to stay warm.
He's pouring a fire on the economy. He sure is.
Well, she's just revealing what they want, though. But that's why they want interest rates to be lower, because they want to heat up the economy. They don't necessarily care if that's going to create like deeply, like a horrible, consequences for people downstream.
Oh, there's no doubt that the cutting of rates could become inflationary. But the problem is that our economy is not growing. And we have a massive job loss. And we have this huge drag on the economy in the form of tariffs. And so regardless, like, okay, you can borrow money at a lower rate if you're a company, but like, are you going to invest that money in something right now? Are you going to say we're going to hire more people? Because why? All the outlook of the economy looks like it's about to implode.
I'm no defender of the Biden economy, but the fact is it was growing, and that just growth wasn't shared. Now we're not sharing it or growing.
We were talking about this before the show. Past due car payments hit a record high.
Going back, it hasn't been this high since the great financial crisis.
Credit card debt just hit a record high, a collective $1.21 trillion, and that was a rise in Q2 from when it was a previous headline in Q.
Yep, all of these things are horrible, and when we have the next economic crash, we communists are counting on you, social democrats, to not fuck us over again. We want to reorganize society. We don't want to put it back into place and make it more equitable. We don't want to fix the leaks and stuff. We want to have a proletarian society. I'm just saying that these crises are something that is expected. With as long as capitalism runs on, it's a systemic thing. It's not just the actions of Trump and his cronies, although they are right now stripping the government basically for spare parts and selling those spare parts, or doing some weird loan things to get rich. They're basically siphoning money out of the economy for themselves. But that's probably because they know, well, shit's going down anyways, and we might as well get stuff while we can. But there's been this crisis has been building for a long time. Look into quantitative easing if you care about that, and it's going to be huge. It's like the AI thing is part of the same bubble, the hype around AI. And yeah, I mean, look, their analysis of these things, their connecting of these things as bad and stuff. Yeah, that's true. But what do you want us to do?
One, about a record in credit card debt. Balances rose by $27 billion, let alone what we just saw with the employment numbers, and including revisions for 2024, which is like the hidden story, I think, in terms of what Democrats were unable to respond to, is that since there's all these issues with collecting unemployment data, and we have these gray areas of the economy of gig work and underemployment, there wasn't, I think, a good enough understanding of how much people were hurting even prior to this. And Trump is just setting it on, on turbo drive or whatever with the tariffs, which are going to be inflationary directly on the rest of people in terms of how they deal with it. It's a compounding sales tax.
Let's just let Kaylee finish her
Sorry, I thought we
thing.
were done.
No, and Nicola says, I know you're not being serious, Sam, but please, for F's sake, don't call that nitwit plan communism. This is their representation of communism. It's like, you don't want central planning from and now it's just one guy.
You fucking got me, you stupid motherfucker. I hate this. I made this whole video.
Right. Dictating all the prices, but go ahead.
But, you know what? You're still endorsing the trope. Like, you still came up with that trope yourself. So, in that situation. So, I think the commenter is right in you trying to wriggle out of it for like, ooh, it's their representation of communism. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was clumsy.
growth, hundreds of billions of dollars of investment pouring into the United States. Donald Trump's cut taxes, deregulating. He has poured a fire on this economy. We're having to dig out from 4 years of Biden-era fecklessness, but we're getting there. And I can tell you this, by the midterms, I think you're going to have a very evident contrast between communist New York City and a thriving United States of America.
I don't think so. Are people sick of this yet? Like, I mean, my entire life, like, okay, all this tech innovation is going to make everyone's life great. Oh, crypto, just give it a few more years. AI around the corner, it's going to change your life, make it all better. Now it's the Trump economy. It's not, look, it might look bad now. Wait till Q4, actually, the midterms, and then everything's, we've pie in the sky when you die. This is like a long,
I have to say, though, the lead time on Basant's like, oh, Q4 is going to be great. I mean, we're only 30 days from that less.
Right.
I get the sense that Basant feels like he ain't going to be around for much longer. I have a feeling he's thinking Q1 of 2026, and I'm out of here because I think she's right. I think there's going to be they're pouring fire on this economy, and it is about to literally get fried.
Did you notice she said Scott's the best of the best besides Donald Trump?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
You can't.
Yeah.
He would be
tone.
so pissed.
Okay, anyways, that's fine. Thanks for watching.